Hi all, can you hear me? So welcome, my name is Wendy Ahrens. I am the director of the Carnegie Mellon University Center for the Arts and Society. I'm also a faculty member in the School of Drama. Please join me in thanking Mike Sims again. Did he leave already? Well, for being so welcome to the conference. It's really an honor and also really a privilege to welcome all of you to the CMU campus, to engage in this conference and explore the art of hospitality. And I want to thank Philip Kalantzis Cope and Tamsin Gilbert and their team at Common Ground Networks for the heavy lift of organizing the conference. They've made this really just such a breeze for us. So I want to say a few brief words about who we are. The Carnegie Mellon Center for the Arts and Society, which we call CAS, and you have our bags as gifts for this conference, is a faculty research center dedicated to the exploration of the arts as they relate to and impact the larger society. Every 3 years, we reinvent ourselves with a new theme of interest, driving an initiative that then funds 3 faculty projects. And our current initiative, which began in 2023, looks at the possibilities and limits of hospitality. So the special focus of this conference, the art of hospitality, grew very organically out of that initiative. It's an area that to us feels more timely than ever, and we are really looking forward to the expanded engagement with the theme that all of you are going to bring to our study of this issue. We have also identified some case studies for you this conference that we feel speak not only to the art of hospitality, but also to the many ways that the arts have shaped Pittsburgh's history as a city of technology and social innovation. And one of those case studies is to the Council of Three Rivers American Indian Center, which is where Mike Sims is located. So I hope you all enjoy the case studies that we've planned for you and look forward to hearing some of the conversation afterwards. We're also this year celebrating a couple of milestones. It marks not only the 20th anniversary of this conference, the Arts and Society Research Network Conference, but also the 25th anniversary of the Center for the Arts and Society at CMU. 25 in 2025 felt very serendipitous. So both of these anniversaries are going to be toasted and celebrated at a very special reception with a lot of food and drink this evening, following the premiere of Catherine Pukinskis's 1 in 4, 1 in 8, that is going to be performed by the Agorita Chamber Ensemble. And both this concert and the reception will be at the Mellon Institute, a gorgeous building that has been featured, among other things, the Batman films. And it's located a little bit off our central campus. So please reserve some energy for this evening because we have these really special events for you, and you'll also get a chance to see a little bit of the Pittsburgh-Oakland area, and my weather report tells me it will not be raining at that time. It's Pittsburgh, so. Now I'm going to turn this over to my colleagues and conference co-hosts, Ann Lambright and Alexa Woloshin, who are the coordinators of our hospitality initiative, and they're going to offer a sense of some of the complications and complexities involved in being hospitable hosts.
We would like to acknowledge the peoples of this stolen land, the Adena, the Hopewell, the Monongahela, the Osage, the Seneca, the Lenape, and the Shawnee, the people who were always here and those pushed here through resettlement and forced migration, then pushed out again and again. We acknowledge that we live and work on stolen land and show no intention of giving it back. We acknowledge the broken promises.
Together, we will travel in friendship and in peace forever, as long as the grass is green, as long as the water runs downhill, as long as the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, as long as our Mother Earth will last. To Wawampum, to Waganshi Agreement, 1613.
The violated treaties.
Peace and friendship are hereby firmly established and shall be perpetual between the United States and the Six Nations. The United States will never claim the property of the Seneca Nation, nor disturb the Seneca Nation, nor any of the Six Nations, or of their Indian friends residing thereon and united with them in the free use and enjoyment thereof. Treaty with the Six Nations, 1794.
The stolen children.
Kill the Indian, save the man. Captain Richard Pratt, June 28, 1892.
the marked and unmarked graves.
Fanny Gibson, Shawnee, age 18. Della Aitkins, Shoshone, age 17. Robert Scott, Seneca, age 14. Annie Vereskin, Aleut, age 11. Mabel Stack, Alaskan, age 12. Lottie Sarich, Ute, age 16. Fred Sinach, Sac and Fox, age 16. From the records of the Carlisle Indian Industrial School.
The missing and murdered.
Indigenous peoples have the collective right to live in freedom, peace, and security as distinct peoples, and shall not be subjected to any act of genocide or any other act of violence. Article 7, United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, 2007.
It is on this unceded land and stolen grounds that we ask what it means to be hospitable today. On this geopolitical palimpsest of forced hospitality and systems of exclusion and removal we call Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania. The art of hospitality examines the possibilities and limits of hospitality, belonging, and gathering through human and non-human entities, mobile and fixed bodies, temporary and permanent spaces. We look forward to the next 3 days during which we will collectively explore the art of hospitality around the world and here in Pittsburgh. Art, pedagogy, freedom, environment, play, collaboration, design, dance, accessibility, community, VR and AI, embodiment, imagination, and the radical. These and many more topics will enrich our intellectual, creative, and social explorations.
Thank you in advance for the generosity of your labor and thought. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Morning, that's my high school conversation trick. Anyway, I am Philip Galantis Pope. I'm the Chief Social Scientist of Common Ground Research Networks. It's great to be here. You know, I was just thinking back of the 20 years we've been doing this. And I thought I'd tell you all a little bit of a story of the 20 years of arts and society. So this conference, this group first began when the opera director, Peter Sellers, came to Australia. That was in 2004. And in great Australian style, he was, head of the Festival of Adelaide. His ideas were a little bit too much for the Australian public at the time, and he was hounded out. But in that period he was there, he found some friends and he found some people who were his supporters and was still interested in doing something in Australia. And our first conference before Arts and Society was called The Art of Dissent. And what we're interested in is what's the role that public programming plays in society? What's the role of arts festivals in society? And so then we then took the show to arts festivals. Starting in Edinburgh in 2006, Documenta in 2007, Venice in 2009, Sydney in 2010, and then Liverpool in 2012. Each of those years we were, thinking of just as I said before, is what are the impacts of arts festivals, what's the role of arts within community practice, and so on and so forth. So that's our first kind of wave of who we were. Then we kind of pivoted more into a kind of arts education space. We had a period where, and it kind of maps what was happening in the field. One of the things that we also wanted to do as an intellectual endeavor, it sounds kind of, well, it sounds more important now, it sounded kind of flat for a while, is that we wanted to be international. So many of, research practices fall into your national boundary. I'm in the US association of this, the French association of that, and then disciplines. I'm a sociologist, I'm in arts theory, I'm this, I'm that, so it all kind of became segmented. So we thought, hey, let's try and talk about arts practices as kinds of research practices, how they live in educational institutions, and so that was a kind of a big agenda in those middle years. We then went through COVID and we innovated and we took the conference online. Kim Lee is here. Kim Lee was our host in Perth. We did never go to Perth. But we then, during that period, we built an infrastructure, which is the infrastructure that you're in right now. One of the things that makes us different is that we build our own technology, where we are interested in how the technology shapes conversations and builds community. And so we built this new platform that you're on right now, which is version 2. And one of the things that we tried to do is keep the kind of record of what happened online. So we went online during those COVID years, and we continued to have an online aspect where each of you have a presentation page. So the online delegates, we have 80 or so online delegates where we ask you to upload digital content. That could be set of slides, images, film, whatever it is that represents your work, and we see that as a time capsule. That is a time capsule that you have access to, not just for this conference, but over years. You can go back to that paper. If the paper isn't there, you can request it from the person, you can add them as a peer, and that way we thought we could build a community through the conference and through the content that goes on. So if you've not done that, that's something that I really recommend that you do. One of the things that we've also been in, very proud of is going into complicated places and asking tough questions. We were in Krakow 2 years ago, dealing with, asking the question of what it means to have millions of people coming across the border from the Ukraine, and the kind of political ramifications of that, but through arts practices. And that was a really wonderful thing. It then brings us here, and we begin in a kind of crisis. Our research network chair, Daniel Tucker, who's not here this year because he just had a baby, but he was a professor at the University of the Arts in Philadelphia, and if you know, in the United States, that university all of a sudden closed. And that was even before we had the madmen in power. And so, that was a real shocking thing in this country. And then what happened is we put a call out. We said, hey community, what are we going to do? We really wanted to stay in the state of Pennsylvania. We looked at Philadelphia, all these P's together. And it was looking complicated, but then we had these angels, these things with wings coming to us saying, you know what, we have a momentous occasion too. And the theme was so right, and the ideas connected so well, and so we're so grateful for you coming to our rescue, our wonderful host here. We are so happy that we can celebrate your anniversary at the same time. And again, for the 20 years and your 25 years and the 2025 is that, we share the same spirit of building community around the arts and really thinking about the ways that the arts can transform people's lives. And so we are really honored to be here and thankful for this opportunity. I'm also going to talk to you about other parts of the research network that's important for you to know about. We also have a journal collection that sits side by side. We encourage you to submit your articles to that journal collection. One of the things that's important to us is that it's the content of the people that have been in our community for these years. As part of your conference registration, you get a membership to the network, which means you get access to all the journal publications that we published for the last 20 years. It's a great resource. I really encourage you to use that, to be authors, to access it. Also, the validation of what happens in that journal process comes from this community as well. So that's a very important part of what we do. We have a book series that runs on the same principles as well. You also, this is my Oprah moment. You all get books, and they're through the bookstore, and you download them as PDFs. So, these are all wonderful parts of what we do, and it's always wonderful to see familiar faces, to see new faces, and to continue this conversation together. I also want to recognise this year's Emerging Scholar awardees. Could you please stand up for 1 second? We'll give them a round of applause. So this is a very important program for us. You'll see these wonderful people at the front of your room. They'll be both making sure the trains run on time. When they say stop, you've got to listen to them. But most importantly, they'll be guiding conversation. And for us, that's the most important part of all this, is to have those that sometimes sit in the back of the room, in the front of the room, tying things together and connecting the dots. We have a wonderful program here. Please take advantage of every aspect of it. Music, receptions, case studies. You will not have a better experience than what has been pulled together for you. So really do make the most of that. No, I think that's it. So really, I also want to thank you all for being here. I feel kind of strange this year because we've never had so many Americans. And one of the things that we must recognise is that the people that have come here from overseas, we've got to give them a round of applause for being here. Even in Australia, which is a weird thing to say, but even in Australia there is press saying don't come to the United States, it's dangerous, they're going to check your Facebook, they're going to find something out here. So all places that, and so then if you think of the scale of more complicated places to come here, we appreciate the bravery of being here. There are good people in the United States, we will advocate for them and we'll continue to work hard. But I do want to recognise that the fact, and we should all recognise the fact of the challenge of entering this country right now. At all ports, it has been hard for many for so long, and it's now becoming universally hard. So thank you for being here.
I get the honor of introducing our first plenary speaker. Dr. Catherine Pakinskis joined the faculty here at the Carnegie Mellon School of Music in 2022, and we are next door neighbors. We share a wall. And yes, I hear you. I can hear you teaching your students, and it's a wonderful thing to overhear. It was a return of sorts, having received her BFA and Master of Music in Composition here. Dr. Pakinskis earned her PhD in Music Composition from the University of Chicago. But don't let all of those degrees in music composition fool you. Yes, Dr. Pakinskis is a prolific and talented composer who has been commissioned by many ensembles, including Algarita chamber players, whom we will hear tonight. And I'll put in a little footnote that one of my favorite pieces that I've heard is she was commissioned by our Carnegie Mellon Philharmonic to write a piece for the winter concert, and she wrote it for the orchestra and many, many bagpipes. So that was a very awesome and powerful piece. She is also a scholar of Latvian choral music, see, not just a composer. A topic on which she has presented and published. Highlights include an invited keynote lecture at the College Music Society Conference in Latvia in 2023, and the 2024 publication Baltic Music's Beyond the Post-Soviet, which Dr. Pakinskis co-edited with Jeffers Engelhardt. This morning's plenary talk exemplifies Dr. Pakinskis' interest in storytelling through music and beyond, and in centering bodies and stories historically underrepresented and often completely absent or silent in classical music spaces. This current work is part of the Center for the Arts and Society Hospitality Initiative here at CMU. And so please join me in welcoming Dr. Catherine Kinskis as she presents her talk, Inhospitable Bodies, Sounding a Space Between New Music and Medicine.
It's going to take me 2 minutes to plug my things in and get things ready. So why don't you all talk to your neighbors, and if you don't know them yet, get to know them.
Hey. I'm Anthony. Oh.
Just get back. Yeah, I know. It's great. I saw you at that's the top secret.